Before I start this video, I want to say YouTube, for disclaimers, this is just for educational purposes because this video is coming from a sad place that a black woman will literally send her child to school and then experience all of this. It is sad. It is sad. Watching that as a mother literally breaks my heart. I don't know if you guys have literally seen this, but the punishment that these white folks are literally going through right now, I wish they can literally go through more. How dare you do a child, treat a child to that level? It is as bad as that. And why I'm doing this for educational purpose only. So that we as parents as well can learn how to manage ourselves, can learn what to do in terms of situations like this. I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but if you have, let me know. First, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, let's dive right into this video. I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
Martell being abused in the classroom, choked and being called a nigger.
A 7-year-old autistic black boy has been subjected to brutal discrimination and abuse by his teacher. A Louisville mother, in an attempt to protect her autistic son, hid a camera in his hair to record footage of abuse from his school teacher. According to the mother, Tiffany Lee, school had repeatedly called over the past few weeks, reporting aggressive behavior from Semage, which contradicted his behavior at home. Lee repeatedly requested access to the classroom to observe him, but received no clear response. She then hid a miniature camera in her son's ponytail, capturing audio and video of Ransdell yelling at, hitting, and dragging her son. The video quickly went viral, and the principal sent a letter to the parents that same day, confirming receipt of the allegations on social media and stating that the matter was being taken very seriously and that they were cooperating with district authorities in the investigation. Ransdell has been banned from the school building pending the investigation result.
I watched my son for weeks come home every day from school, depressed and sad, mad. His attitude done changed. They got me thinking that my baby is some animal. These hurting these people, but they hurt my baby. But the only thing I keep hearing is my son's screams. And why this school is still open. If it's a full investigation, the school year is over to me. It should have been over. If it was up to me and people keep stopping me, we would be on that motherfucking street today. And the school would not be open. They monsters. They sick. But the school is still open. Y'all didn't see the actual footage. In the actual footage, it's in his hair, so you can't see it clearly. But I can see this man going towards my son, his glasses, his face, Robert. They don't want me to say his name. His name is Robert Ransdell. He was coming close to my son, and everything after that sounded like aggression. It sounded like a fight with a grown man that is upset with another grown man, and my child is 10 years old, and he cannot speak for himself. I watched my son for weeks come home every day from school, depressed and sad, mad. His attitude done changed. They got me thinking that my baby is some animal, that he's hurting him. He's hurting these people, but they hurt my baby. They had me under the impression, but I knew better. I knew better, and they want me to shut up and not say his fucking name on the nose. No.
Everyone for being here with me, my son's father, James. I appreciate everyone being here. This all started because over the course of months, I was flooded with calls and complaints about my child's behavior. Behavior that was not typical, not normal, and not something as his parents we had ever seen in our sweet child. As his mother, I knew in my heart something was not right. I ordered a camera to be my son's eyes, his ears, his voice. I secretly hid the camera in his hair and sent him off to school on May 13th. And when I said I hid it, this is the camera I hid. So let's be clear. I stand before you, not just as a mother, but as my son's voice, Samaj Lee. And standing with me is his father, James Baker. While I will be the only one speaking today, we stand united as parents fighting together for our son.
That's right.
Our son has severe nonverbal autism, meaning he cannot speak. People say they want the facts. What can you ask him if he cannot speak? But I can. I am his voice, and I will speak for him. We trusted his school to protect him, to care for him, and to treat him with dignity. Instead, he was harmed, silenced, and failed by the very people who were supposed to keep him safe. What I discovered on the camera footage is something no parent should ever have to ever see or hear. Our child was put in a situation where he was scared, overwhelmed, and powerless. And while this was happening, there was adults in the room who did nothing to stop it. This is unacceptable. So today, we are demanding accountability and change. I'm calling for a full, immediate investigation. Every teacher, every staff member who has access to my son must be interviewed. There needs to be a complete and honest review of what is happening inside these classrooms. We are demanding that the individual actually who assaulted our son be terminated immediately and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And not just him. Any staff member who witnessed this abuse and chose to stay silent must also be terminated. Silence is not a face of abuse, and just to be quiet and keep it going, it's you being complicity. My son has severe nonverbal autism. He cannot speak, but I can. I am his voice, and I will speak for him. And this cannot stop with my son. We are calling for a Samaj law, a policy that requires cameras in a classroom that serves nonverbal and vulnerable children. Our children deserve protection, transparency, and accountability at all times, not just when something goes wrong. No parent should have to question whether their child is safe at school. No child should suffer in silence because they cannot speak. My son deserves justice, and we will not fight. I will not stop fighting until he gets it, until no other child has to change or has to go through this. I am his voice, his eyes, his ears. He cannot speak, but I will speak for him. Justice for Samaj.
A woman in Louisville, Kentucky, put a hidden camera in her son's hair and sent him to school. She said that she had concerns that he was being mistreated, and what she captured infuriated her. Here's how one administrator at the school addressed her 10-year-old son, who was autistic and nonverbal.
Get off me now, boy. Gilbert. Gilbert. He wouldn't play with you no more. You don't like it, stay home.
What sounds like a slapping sound is actually Samaj clapping, according to his mother, Tiffany Lee.
My son claps as his stemming mechanism. At a very young age, he was self-abusive, and me and his father taught him to clap so he wouldn't self-abuse. But we always told each other and other people around, do not stop him from clapping because it's a reason for it.
Now, she insists it's the way that the teacher was speaking to her son and the yelling that followed that really made her upset.
It sounds like a grown man that's angry with another grown person, but this is a child that cannot speak. My baby, my sweet baby, that doesn't hurt anyone. He's hurting my child. He's verbally hurting him, and I know he physically hurt him.
How do you know he physically hurt him?
He was too close to him. He was too close to him, and I know because my son would have kept clapping, and he had to touch him to stop him from clapping, or my son's claps would have kept going.
The school, which has initiated an investigation with Child Protective Services, responded to our request for an interview by sending us the same letter that went out to parents last week. It read in part that the school district is, quote, taking these allegations very seriously. In order to reach a transparent, accurate, and just conclusion, we must follow our policies and procedures before making any claims about our staff. The recording device was discovered about 45 minutes after Tiffany dropped off her son.
What's in his head?
Is it like a hairband?
No, it's something with a light.
Steven, you need to come see this.
For now, she says her son Samaj will come to work with her at the sensory-friendly barbershop that she actually opened 4 years ago. Why did you post this on social media? Why did you want the world to see this?
This is something that's not only going to save my child, but other children as well.
And yes, she says she does plan to pursue legal action.
So Samaj is a little boy that goes to Field Elementary in Louisville, Kentucky. Samaj is autistic and he's nonverbal. He cannot talk. His mother had noticed that some things just weren't right. He was acting funny, and she got just a motherly instinct that something's going on at school. The mother put a camera inside of Samaj's head. He had beautiful dreadlocks on his head. So she put a camera in his hair so she could monitor and see what was going on. When I tell you, I saw the video and heard what was going on. And me as a mother with an autistic son, but thank God my baby's high function. He can talk and he can tell me what's going on. Can you imagine how I felt? Listen to that video, how they tortured that little boy. They were calling him the N-word. And I want to say they was putting hands on him. Now the whole while, this little boy couldn't defend himself. He had teachers, other teachers were standing around observing this stuff and wasn't doing nothing about it. This baby can't talk. He can't do nothing. At the press conference, the mother said, my baby can't talk, Samaj can't talk, but I will talk and speak for him. Me as an autistic mom, that's my biggest fear in the world, that somebody's going to do something to my baby and he cannot defend himself. But I give props to that mother, because ain't no way in the world I could have just took that like that. When I saw that video of how they mistreated that little baby, and it's not his fault, he's like that. And when you send your kids to school, you shouldn't have to worry about them being safe. You know what I'm saying? And when she goes there to confront them, they act like they don't know what's going on. And by this time, I'm thinking to myself, these are all the people that have been surrounding this little boy all this time. Nobody tried to protect him from that evil teacher. You should have, this video, it would just turn your stomach. You hear me? That video would turn your stomach. But I hope, she said she wanted them to lose their job, but I hope they go to jail. I hope they go up under the jail. Because autism is something that children don't ask to come in this world autistic. And I know a few kids that are nonverbal. And you try your best to, to help try to understand them and stuff. But when you send people to a school, and people go to get degrees and are trained to deal with situations like this, you would think that they wouldn't be so mean and cruel. This is one of the most meanest videos I have seen in a long time. My prayers are going up for Samaj and that mom. And I hope that that baby gets the justice that he deserves, because Samaj did not deserve to be treated like that. You teachers ought to be ashamed of yourself. This video really hurt my feelings. It hurt my heart.
Did y'all hear about the mother who caught the teacher being physical and saying harmful things to her nonverbal autistic child? Now, this happened in Louisville, Kentucky. The school is Field Elementary School. Now, the nonverbal autistic child's name is Samaj Lee, and the mom's name is Tiffany Lee. Now, me being a family member, my little brother having autism, I'm very sensitive on this subject, because we don't play that. People don't play that about their kids, period. Right? And so the mother had a hidden camera, right, at the school. And also the teacher was calling him a stupid N-word boy, right? So being physical and saying these type of words that he was saying to the boy. You know what I mean? And, obviously just bringing it back to the Bible, children are inheritance from the Lord. So again, people don't play about their kids. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know everything that the mom did. Obviously, she, reported it. But if that's me, he gonna have to catch these holy hands. Like, you gonna have to catch these hands, bro. You gonna have to see me. Again, knowing what it's like to work with kids who have autism. And again, like I said, my brother being nonverbal autistic, also me seeing the other side, me being a teacher assistant, you know what I mean? I see both sides of the fence. So again, man, I'm just praying for Tiffany Lee and her son, Samaj Lee, and what's going on. And again, man, just, again, be careful and be mindful of, what schools your kids are going to and who is teaching them, man. So God bless them and God bless y'all.
Did you hear about the little boy whose mother put a camera in his hair, and she was able to caught the teacher calling this little boy the N-word, and also on camera on there. So the mother noticed that something was going on with her son. Her baby was only 3 years old, and she realized that her baby was not, he was not happy, very withdrawn and so on. So the mother was like, I'm going to put a camera in his hair because he can't talk to me to tell me what was going on. So I'm going to put a camera in his hair and find out what was going on with him. And she put a camera in his hair, and when she put the camera in his hair, he went to school, and the teacher was and also calling him an N-word. And remind you, this little boy cannot speak to even go home and tell his mother exactly what was going on. So we're going to call this case a mother intuition. I want to say kudos to the mom who actually stopped and put a camera in her baby hair. That was very smart. So she was able to get this on camera, the whole thing on camera. Now, when she pulled up to the school and it was like, y'all, tell me which one of you guys were able to do with doing this to my baby. Y'all was choking out my baby. You guys were also calling my baby an N-word. Which one of you guys is X, Y, and Z? And mother was not playing. And they all stood there, like all of them was shocked. Like they all stood there like they were just shocked. Now, you can't really tell if everybody is innocent because, this baby was nonverbal, so he can't speak to mom to tell mom, hey, Mr. So-and-so was doing this or Mrs. So-and-so and doing that. So she just have to go by her own instinct and her child behavior. Her child behavior was withdrawn. So all the teacher was standing up there. When she pulled up to the school was with her camera, and she was like, luckily I have this. She had the whole thing on camera, the whole entire thing. And luckily she was like showing them and letting them know. And luckily, because she had the camera, she can now turn it over to the police. You want to see the look on these teacher faces. Like all of them were just standing there in such horror, like they don't know what's going on. To my surprise, I feel as though the other rest of the teacher, this is something that was so normal for them. No, I'm not putting out any accusation. Allegedly, I think that they probably out here doing the same thing. Because how is it this one teacher feels so comfortable doing this to her child? And the mother pulled up. I'm so proud of her. Let me tell you something. You touch my child like that, I'm going to throw hands. I'm going to throw hands. So I need to know. I'm coming back with a part 2 and show y'all the video.
And a preschool teacher in Tipton County faces assault charges, accused of attacking a nonverbal child in her classroom. Investigators say 23-year-old Catherine Turnbow of Covington assaulted the student at Austin Peay Elementary School. Turnbow is booked on a $5,000 bond and due in court tomorrow.
Having to put a camera on your child's head whenever they go to school that has severe nonverbal autism because you suspect that the staff members are lying about your child's behavior only to find out that the staff members have been assaulting your child is one of the most terrifying things that a parent has had to go through. A young boy named Samaj, he looks no more than 10 years old, has severe nonverbal autism. He can't speak. Okay, he goes to school. Apparently his teachers were sending home complaints about him and having his mother come and pick him up, saying that he was acting out, doing X, Y, and Z, being aggressive, like all of that stuff. And his mother was like, that does not match up with his behavior. He doesn't act like that. He doesn't act like that at home. He's not like that. This doesn't make sense. Something feels off. So she attached a camera to her son's hair. It was like a clip, and she sent him to school. Apparently, on the video, there's two teachers. There's a primary teacher and there's the assistant teacher. The boy is sitting silently in the classroom. The primary teacher leaves, and then the assistant teacher suddenly becomes aggressive with him. And you see, like, the camera shaking. He's saying, like, get off me, go away, like, all of this stuff. And then the boy starts, like, freaking out. He starts, like, stimming and clapping and yelling, and apparently that's what he does when he gets really upset. So the mother was on a interview and she had the camera in her hair and she pulled it out mid-interview to show how well hidden this thing was. But the day she sent him to school, they found it like almost immediately. And she said, who touched my son's hair? They said, no, we didn't touch it. We saw a blinking light. Even though whenever she had it in her hair, In the interview, I didn't see a blinking light at all. Also on the camera, apparently, they captured footage of the teachers talking about marijuana and edibles. These kids are all like autism spectrum, like special needs children that they are teaching. They all have like communication issues, especially the ones that are nonverbal. The mother is pushing for having cameras in the classroom because she doesn't trust the school to keep her child safe. And I can't imagine what that must feel like for her.
I've been sent a horrific post of a mum in distress because she's just left the police station viewing 45 minutes of footage of her child, her SEN child, being assaulted by 2 teachers that I believe have gone on to be fired, but the police won't be prosecuting, charging, arresting. I'm so confused how the place that the children are meant to be the safest other than home, this has happened. But then at the same time, I'm not confused because a lot of people are going into certain roles for the payment and for the position that it paints them in society. I've spoken about this before. Wicked people in the role, them. People that have the ability to take out and unleash all of their anger and their hatred on your children because they use the role to blend into society. That's them through and through. I say all the time, I feel like when you become a teacher, go into anything to do with the education of children, that's something you have to want to do from the bottom of your heart. You have to want to change those children's lives for the better from the bottom of your heart. You have to want to know that it may not be a 40-hour week, it may be an 80-hour week, and you wouldn't even care about it or batter an eyelid because your sole purpose in this life was to get that degree, get that qualification, that licensing, and change children's lives. But many people go into those roles and that is not the case. And that's why little things are triggering them to the capacity that they're assaulting children to the point that they're losing consciousness. Now, I don't doubt that this child couldn't have been having a meltdown, couldn't have been displaying certain behaviours, but there was ways in which they managed that. And oftentimes what they do is they allow these children to become extremely overwhelmed to the point that they are a threat. And then they do what? Take their ill-equipped selves to do that, assault the child. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. I hope this footage comes out. I hope those teachers' names are publicised everywhere. I hope their faces are publicised everywhere. I hope their licenses are revoked because what kind of foolishness is going on here? We already learned what restraining people in certain ways has done multiple times. If George Floyd wasn't public enough for us to take what restraining people in certain ways can do, then I don't know what else we need. I don't know what else we need, but no child should be subjected to that. That is disgusting. I'm going to tag the woman's page. I hope that she gets all the awareness and the justice that her and her child need. Because no mum should be subjected to watching anyone perpetrate that towards their child. Now that woman has been left in a battle of self-control because, yes, we should adhere to the law and moral standpoints and all these things. But if 2 grown humans have gotten away with assaulting my child, what else am I to do here? Because I've sent my child to the next best place that they should be the safest in when I'm not there to protect them and they've been assaulted. What?
Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed all of the clip I was able to roll out for you guys. And honestly, no woman, no mother, not even a father, not even anybody deserve for her child to be treated the way that child was literally treated. Nobody deserved that, no matter how cranky that boy is. And to not crown it all, that every single thing they were literally accusing the child of is what they are doing to him. Like I said, this video is for educational purposes, because imagine that this woman did not have that idea of, okay, since my son is always disturbing the school and the school always call me to come pick up my son, let me put a camera on his head. Do you think that she would have known what has literally happened? So you have to send your children to school for them to face issues like this. It's honestly sad. That is why, God, I don't know. I don't know if there's any other way they can actually do this. I feel like the punishments for these people is actually not even enough. As at when I was checking the report today of what was actually going on, they said the teachers were terminated and the mother has literally filed a lawsuit. Like, I can't wait to see what the courts have for these people, because that is damage. You can hear this innocent, quiet, sweet, cute boy clapping repeatedly in the video. And if you listen to what the mother said, that was literally how she told him if he finds himself in an uncomfortable situation, he should clap. I really don't care. The school should be shut down. That's just the truth. Because I believe schools like that should have a camera in their classroom. Even small schools nowadays in this country that I said, Nigeria, they literally have a camera in their classroom, because teachers can be weird, minders can be weird, nobody can be trusted literally nowadays. I really feel for this woman. And I'm sending her hugs. Because, to be honest, this is literally what Black people go through. Every single now and then. This is what Black people go through. And that's why sometimes you keep asking yourself, like, who have I offended? How did we get here? Just this week, I posted a video where a school teacher, was literally tying a black doll, hanging a black doll. Tied it with a cord and then she hung it on the television. Even when the students were telling her, "Mom, this thing you are doing is wrong," she was just laughing, doing what she thinks is best for her. It is as bad as that. You make children feel so uncomfortable as a teacher that is supposed to teach a child, that is supposed to care for the child, that is supposed to beautify the life of a child, because you don't know what tomorrow owns for you. You've seen opportunity that because this boy can literally not air out, he cannot say anything, the only thing you can do is to treat him this way. Honestly, is a no. No mother deserves that. Not at all. Not at all. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Credits belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.